Hello everybody and happy Friday. If you're in the US, I hope you've had a good Thanksgiving break. If you're not celebrating Thanksgiving, then I hope you had a good week. My whole week has been nice. I've been on vacation and it's been a really good break. I don't want it to end, but life goes on, time marches on. So I thought I would do a Friday Reads today because I've got some housekeeping to catch up on. I've got kind of a life and channel update that I have been putting off talking about. And I'm also currently reading some things that I thought I would talk about because there are always books to discuss, right? So let's do the quick housekeeping first. Some of you who follow the Stitch and Bitch live shows may be wondering where the November one is. We decided to skip November in lieu of doing an earlier December live show because of holidays and people's personal schedules and travel and all that. So the next Stitch and Bitch live show is going to be December 12th. That's a Sunday. It'll be at the usual time, 1 p.m. Central, and it'll be on Rhea's channel, The Book Finch. I will leave a link down below to the scheduled live show in case you want to set a reminder for that. The next thing is the life and channel update. So you may have noticed that things have been a little bit weird or a bit off around here, or at least I feel like it's very obvious. Perhaps it has not been. But the last couple of months have been just dealing with life change things and making decisions and all of that. And it is all sort of culminated. So the big news in my life is that I quit my old job and I'm starting my new job on Monday. And I am both extremely excited. Making a change has been kind of long overdue, but I'm also extremely nervous because I don't deal well with change sometimes. I like to stick in my usual groove, but it was time. But this goes beyond just I'm changing jobs to my whole lifestyle is about to change pretty drastically. Some of you may know that I have worked from home for 8 years, since before I started my channel actually. And even before then, when I used to work in an office, I worked pretty much on my own. It was very solitary. So I spent the last decade working remotely and with a very flexible schedule, lots of flex time. And if you've worked from home recently, you know how much of your time you get back. And I am not going to have that anymore, which is so weird to me. My work from home lifestyle is about to go out the window and I'll be working in an office with other people around the clock, and a more traditional 8 to 5 schedule. So the structure will be good, the social interaction will be really good for my mental health. There are so many benefits to this, but I know that it's going to be a huge shock to the system, and that's why it's affecting channel stuff, because even though I have a video schedule figured out through January, all of that depends on me having the time and energy to actually film things, as well as the time and energy to do all of my usual hobbies. I'm sort of expecting everything in my life to grind to a halt while I adjust to the new job and the new time schedule and all that. So we will see, but I wanted to let you guys know because if I kind of just disappear for a little bit, that's what's going on. I have no intentions of quitting BookTube by any means. This is far too much part of my life for me to give it up, and I still enjoy it a lot. But this is the time where I have to prioritize some other things for a little while. So that is what's going on with me, and hopefully a lot of the stress in my life will diminish over the next couple of months, and I'm going to be a lot happier and just professionally satisfied. Now let's talk though about what I am reading. I've been using this week of freedom in between jobs to just read everything. I have absolutely no demands on my time this week, so I've just been going to town on all the little things that I want to do. So currently I'm listening to 2 audiobooks. The first one is Grail by Elizabeth Bear. I'm going to finish this one pretty soon, maybe today in fact. This is the 3rd and final book in the Jacob's Ladder series. It's a science fiction series from the early 2000s, I think. And yeah, Grail is the final book and the culmination of this generation ship journey to their eventual destination and all of the weird changes that evolution has wrought on the ship. And it's been a very interesting trilogy. Not my favorite thing that I've read by Elizabeth Bear, but enjoyable, and I can see in this series some concepts that I think she was developing that she then really used in the White Space novels. I don't think the worlds are connected. There doesn't seem to be any indication that they are, but I enjoy a lot of those ideas, like the right-minding concept, for example. So I'm really glad that I finally read this trilogy. I was, for some reason, reluctant to get into it, and it's been good. The other audiobook that I've been listening to, I actually started reading it in print, so I've got the book from the library. This is Below the Edge of Darkness, a memoir of exploring light and life in the deep sea by Edith Witter. So like I said, I am reading this with my ears. And it's a memoir of a marine biologist who studies bioluminescence, and it has been fascinating so far. I think that she's a really interesting person, and her journey in science and everything is going to be really interesting. And also, for some reason, I've been really hankering to read more about like marine biology and the oceans and stuff, and I keep striking out on books, but this one has finally been a good one that I'm really interested in. And also I know nothing about bioluminescence, so it'll be very educational. And then I'm reading two things in print. The first one is No Gods, No Monsters by Cadwell Turnbull. I think this is the beginning of probably a supernatural fantasy series. I think it's called the Convergence Saga. Anyway, it's one of my anticipated books of the year, and I am enjoying the writing style of this quite a bit. It begins with a woman who loses her brother very suddenly. He may have been murdered, and her life starts to fall apart after losing him. Even though they had a very tumultuous relationship for many years, her brother had been homeless and addicted to drugs and everything. But I think that there is going to be like a werewolf supernatural element to this, or something like that. And I don't know if I'm going to care that much about it, but it's got like these short chapters and short sections that make it really compulsively readable, like just one more chapter, and I like that. And lastly, I have finally been digging into Synopticon. This is an anthology of translated Chinese SF stories. It's translated and edited by Shuting Christine Ni. And I actually came to this thinking it was new Chinese SF stories, but that's not actually true. They're new translations, first-time English translations, but some of the stories are quite old. One of my favorites so far in this is basically about tombstones in space and like this whole era of grave building in space that kind of went with the age of space exploration. And it was actually written exactly 30 years ago. And I was like, I did not feel like it was that old of a story. It was kind of interesting. So I think this is gonna overall be a really interesting anthology, and I hope to finish it over the next week or so. I have an arc of this from NetGalley, so I should be doing some sort of proper review of it at some point or another if my life cooperates. So yeah, it's been good so far. So that is it for my Friday Reads update. Let me know how you are doing. What are you up to right now? What are you reading? Leave me a comment down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back to talk to you again soon. And until then, bye.